Hi there, it's David Young, the Resourceful Coach, and what we're going to look at today is one of my sort of 12 shots of golf videos, but we're going to look at every shot if you want to be a single figure golfer. We're going to look at all 12 shots, understand what you need to achieve to play to that level. So this is going to range from the first shot we're going to look at, tee shot, all the way through to putting, bunkers, chipping, every shot that I feel you get in a round of golf. And if you work on these areas, and we're going to give you data to show you exactly what you need to achieve to play to that level, and you work on these areas, it will cover pretty much 85% of the game that you're going to get when you go out and play. So this is a massive video to help you to really understand what you need to do if you want to be that player shooting around 80 and shooting that type of score when we go out and play. Right, so let's get straight into it. Okay, we're here on the first hole at Corinthians. And what do we need to do with the driver? Let's explain what's required if I'm hitting a good drive. And what we always say is these videos are very much around achieving what you need to for your level. So you can go back and look at my videos. We've got scratch, we've got single figure, we've got 18. This is all about single figure golf. So what do I need to achieve off the tee? If I can hit approximately 75% of my fairways, I need to be hitting the ball about 220 to 225. That would be a good number. If the other 25% are not too bad, maybe you're in the light rough, you get the odd one that will get you into trouble, that's golf. But if you're in the light rough with about another 10-15%, you will comfortably play to that level. If you have the ability to hit it further, we're never going to say to you hit it less. And if you're probably hitting it 210, as you'll see with other areas as you go through, there's a pretty good opportunity then that you may find yourself still being able to play to single figures because you'll make it up in other areas. So 210 gives you a good chance. 220, 225, definitely going to play there. If you can get it to 240, then you're looking now low single figures. Okay, so let's play one down here. Let's see what we got. So we're looking around about that. And I've got what I brought out today. I just brought out a little 13-degree driver just to give me that sensation that I can get that type of result that I'm looking for. So 220, 225, we'll hit it. We'll take a measurement when we get down there, see what we got. Let's go see where we ended up, see how that finished, and then ultimately we're going to start looking at lots of other different shots around the golf course. So we've arrived at our ball. I apologise, we've got a little greenkeeping around us, so we've got a little bit of a noise around us today, but hopefully you're getting the idea of the shots. And I've hit this literally 220. This is the ball I've hit, and we're going to show you two more shots. These are what I call your shot maintainers. These are the shots we need to keep that ball moving up the hole, give you a really good opportunity to get the results that you want when you're playing. So, ball I've ended up playing has ended up in the rough. To play to single figures, what do I need to do? Okay, I need to keep that ball moving up the hole around about 125 yards, but get it back on the fairway. That's the important bit. So it doesn't need to be a really long shot. That's what I need to achieve there. So let's see if we can do that to start with. Sitting down a little bit in the rough. Move it up the fairway. You can see it just sitting down in the grass. Get it back into play. That's the priority here. If you can hit it a little bit further, as I said, do it. But 125 is your number. So here's where we've ended up. We've ended up 150 yards away from the green, and we're now going to look at the data for that. And we're looking around about 60 feet will be the number you need to do from this distance. And what we're going to do just from this point, just to speed the video up a little bit, we're going to look at 3 different distances and understand what you need to achieve for that level. Okay, so from 150 yards into that green, 60 feet is your average shot, and you'll be playing single figure golf. If we move you up to say 100 yards, we're looking around about 38 feet. So if you look at that from 100 yards, always the number, people think they should be sticking it 10 foot from the hole. But if you are standing physically at 100 yards, get it within 38 feet, anywhere on the green is going to do exactly what you need it to do. And if we start to look then at getting inside 100 yards, which will go up to the green and we'll look at them a little bit more, we're starting to get around about that 20 feet once you get to about 50 yards. But we'll go and play a 50-yard shot. But the 2 shots we talked about here, 150 yards, we're looking at 60 feet. 100 yards, you are looking now at around about 38 feet. Anytime you put it on the green from that distance, you are playing single figure golf and definitely from 150 yards, you hit the green, you're playing low single figure. But let's go and start having a look at some shots around the green and how those shots, what we need to achieve to get close to the hole. So we've now come to our 50-yard shot, and it's really important. This is a key shot, I think, for all golfers to realise. This is the shot you want to get down in 3 on average to play to single figures. And we'll talk about putting in a little while, but the key thing here, from 50 yards, your average distance you want to be away is 20 feet. So we can see as we've gone through these 3 shots, 50 yards, 20 feet, 100 yards around about 40, and then from 150 you're talking 60. So it's just decreasing by about 20 feet each time. That's the goal that we're looking to achieve. And the goal here really is, we look at this flag here, we're going to play the shot, is Rob's cut the flag a little bit towards the right side of the green. And 20 feet is 20 feet. I think that's really important. Doesn't matter if it's left, right, long or short, 20 feet is 20 feet. And deal with that shot. That's the important thing as you go through. So now what we're looking at here, because he's cut the flag on the right side, if I end up 20 feet right at the hole, I'm actually going to be off the green. And there's a bit of a bank there, I'm going to be in a bad shape. So we're just talking a little bit of course management here. And what we're looking for here is to play probably 10, 12 feet left of the hole, a couple of flag stick lengths left of the hole, and then let the ground do what it does. And if it doesn't come round, it doesn't matter. We could still be inside that 20 feet. So that's what we're looking for. We're just using a little gap wedge here, play it out towards that left side, favour that side, keep it away from the trouble. Anything inside 20 feet, I'm doing exactly what I've got to do to play single figure golf. That's nice, a little bit left, about a flag stick length left. A little bit short, but I'd say it's pretty much bang on 20 feet where I've ended up. If I'm doing that, I'm going to get the consistency I want. I'm going to start finding then I'm not going to make big mistakes. As a single figure golfer, I haven't said this already in the video, but you can have 9 bogeys, 9 pars, you're playing single figures. Okay, so that's given me a chance. Now we're going to look at a little bit more delicate shots around the green. What if we're 20 yards away, but we're going to look at 2 versions of that and see how that's going to affect your shot and score. So our next 2 shots are really common shots we all get. We've played a par 3, we've played a par 4, played a par 5, and we come up a little bit short of the green, and we're around about 20 yards or so away from the hole. So what would be a par shot? It's got to be better than 50 yards, but we're only looking around about 8 feet from the hole. Okay, so as we're getting closer, you can see how it's reducing as we're going along. It's 8 feet. This is a shot now that on average, I'm probably going to get up and down around about 20, maybe 25% of the time. Get it up and down in 2. But still, around about that 70, 75% of the time, I'm still going to take 3 shots to get this down into the hole. So don't beat yourself up if you're not getting this up and down. Even a tour player's not getting this up and down every time. They're scrambling. The winners might be, but not the guys who are generally playing week in, week out, okay, and finishing maybe in the top 30. So keep it simple. In this situation, we've got a straightforward shot, got nothing really in our way. I'm just taking a pitching wedge, and I'm just looking to play it to land on the green. How can I run down? My mental picture is I want to be around about a flag stick length away from the hole. That would be really, really good. That will give us the result that we're looking for. Let's see what we can do. That's a little bit firm. So I reckon I've ended up about 10 feet away. So just slightly outside the average, but okay. So it's really important. 8 feet from this position. Let's go and make it a little bit trickier. The other one around about the same distance, but what if you're playing out of the rough, and how does that affect your shot? So this is the one you probably get a little bit more often, that 20-yard shot just off the green, you're in the rough. What's a good shot? And again, it's getting your mind and your expectation in the right place. And we're looking around about double what we had from on the fairway. So we've gone from 8 feet from 20 yards from the fairway, we're looking around about 15, 16 feet. Sitting down a little bit in the wet grass here, okay. So what I'm going to do there, I only played a pitching wedge from the other side of the green. From here now, I'm going to take a little bit more loft to get into the bottom of the ball, get it up and out of the grass quickly. So I'm just using my gap wedge. You could use a sand iron if you're confident with that. But again, look at what's in front of you. We've got a little bit of a bank here to go down, and then it's onto the green. I want to carry that if I can, so that's why I've gone for loft to get it out of the lie, a little bit of loft to land on the green, and remember 15 feet is good. Hopefully from that camera you can see what we did with the flag, cut really tight there, So what I need to do now is make sure I don't get too greedy. Keep it to the right. 15 feet will be good. Wet conditions, keep the club nice and clean. From there, keep it out to the right, just pop it onto the green. It came out really nicely, dug in, and I'd say pretty much the same distance I ended up from the good lie, around about 10 feet. So in that situation, really happy to get those two results. So those two shots, 20 yards, we're looking around about 8 feet from a nice lie, double it roughly, 15 feet if you're coming out of the rough. Let's go and look at now some putting. Let's see how that's going to affect your game and what you need to be doing to play to that level that we're talking about. So when it comes to my 12 shots of golf, I always look at 2 shots with putting, okay? And we're looking around about what is what I call your 50-50 putt. So that's on average how many you're going to hole half of them and miss half of them. And then what is your average distance you should 2-putt for your level. So we're looking at single figure golfer. These 2 balls here are around about 5 feet away. That's what we're looking for. If I can hole 1 out of 2, I'm doing exactly what I've got to do. That's the goal. So let's see if we can do it. So we're looking at this, a little bit of break from right to left. If I don't do it, doesn't matter, as long as we don't 3-putt it from here. Roll it in. Yep, so we've got 1 there. Even if I miss this, I'm now doing what I'm meant to do. If I hole it, it's a bonus. I'm ahead of the game. Okay, so on this particular occasion, I did really well. We got both in the hole, so that's a little bit better. But from that distance, 5 feet, it's your 50-50 putt. Now we go to 20 feet. 20 feet is your average 2-putt as a single figure golfer. And I'd say for most amateur golfers, if you can 2-putt from there, you're doing brilliantly. And even if you're somebody who's not a single figure golfer, you just look at these 2 numbers that we're talking about when it comes to putting, go and practice it. Make your game good as a single figure golfer. So 2 putts from here, anything really rolling down within a foot or so of the hole. Really happy. Let's see what we can do. Roll down, just a little bit short. Always to get down in 2. That's exactly what we're going to do. So there's our putting. Okay, so that's pretty much now covered all the shots going down a hole, from tee shots all the way through to your putting, including your shots from the middle of the fairway. So what we're going to do now, go and look at a little bit of a couple of specialist shots, your par 3 tee shots, and then we'll finish with bunkers. So we've looked at pretty much, we've played a complete hole there, and we've gone through all the different shots that you're going to come to. So we're going to go through a few more specialist shots that you'd come across. And the first one is a par 3. I'm going to look at 2 par 3s, okay? So all in all, we're going to give you actually 13 shots, not just 12. So par 3, we're looking around about 140 yards, and we can use the data that we talked about from 150 yards in the middle of the fairway. So we're looking at a shot here of approximately around about that 55-60 feet on 140 yard par 3, and you are doing fine. That's really important to understand. Okay, we didn't play the 150 yard shot. What we will do is we'll play this one down there, see what we get. Okay, so anywhere on that green is brilliant. Even if I'm on the fringe, 60 feet away, 55, 60 feet, we're doing exactly what we need to do to play to single figure golf. On the line, on the best strike, and probably just creep on the front edge. And yeah, we're probably around about 35, 40 feet away. So we've achieved what we needed to do. We've got it on the green. We don't need to stick it 2 feet from the hole. We're not a tour player. 55 feet, you're doing great on a 140 yard par 3. So here we are, our second par 3 shot. It's a little bit of a bonus one, okay? All in all, we're going to actually go through 13 shots. But we've gone through 2 par 3s. And the 140 yard shot, we said we wanted to be around about that 55, 60 feet. Now, as soon as you get to a hole this length, we're looking at a hole here, we're on the 17th hole. The flag's at the front of the green today, so it's playing around about 180. Okay, so when you get a 180, 190 shot, I think mentally what you need to realize is you don't need to hit the green. And I know that sounds crazy. You're going to think, I've got to hit the green, it's a par 3. But as soon as you really go outside 170 and a higher, get it around the green. We talked about the chipping 20 yards away. You can get that into a position where you can get that up 75% of the time. 180, 200 yard par 3. If you're parring it a quarter of the time, you are doing great. And that's really important to understand. So when you stand on this hole, don't put yourself under pressure. It's a bit like anywhere you are on the green. I always think with putting, you start to be around about 30, 40, 50, 60 feet. You think, oh, I should be two putting it. Maybe 30 feet, but 60 feet is probably a 50-50 chance you're going to three putt it as an amateur golfer. So realise from here, I always use the idea that if you were standing beside a green at an Open Championship, say, and it's 180, 190 yard par 3, and Rory McIlroy's playing, he puts it on the green, you're going to probably give him a ripple there. You're going to give him a hand clap there and think, yeah, that was brilliant. So if you do it, give yourself that physical, mental clap as well. You've done a good shot. So we're looking for anything here, round about that 10 yards or so from the green will be good. If we hit it, that's a bonus. And the whole idea of my videos is to reduce that pressure off you. That's the important thing as we go through it. Okay, so that's what we're looking to do. So let's see what happens here. We're going to play it down towards the green, give ourselves an opportunity to see what we're achieving on that shot. And the hole here, and we're playing it from this angle, so I'm just going to show you the swing from this angle because most of the swings have been down the line. But we're looking at a nice comfortable swing. Ground kicks a little left to right, so I'm going to aim a little bit up the left side and just allow the ground to bring me round. That's what I'm looking to do. Okay, but again, I've got a 5-iron here, solid one of these, that should give me the distance. And again, make sure you've got enough club. I think that's really important. Don't try and be exact. Make sure your average distance is your average club. Give it that distance to get there. If you have to hit like a hybrid or something down here, then that's absolutely fine. All right, so mentally, anything within 5-10 yards of the green, I'm going to be really happy with that result. So let's see if we can go ahead and do that as we play the shot. Yeah, nicely struck. All depends on the bounce now, how we've done on that side. As I said, anywhere on the green, really happy with that. Haven't seen it appear yet on the green, so I'm not sure if it has sort of made its way up. Okay, but if it's round where we are, I know I'm about where I want to be. So remember, 140 yard par 3, anywhere on the green, 55 feet is good. As soon as you start going above 170, around the edge of the green is excellent. 10 yards or so away from 180 yards, you're doing absolutely fine. So here's our final shot on our 12 shots of golf, single figure player, and it's the bunker shot. And it's the shot I think most people don't enjoy at all when they go in. For me, it's the shot. If you can get good at it, it'll make a massive difference to your game. Okay, I apologise for the sound there. Got a bit of traffic just going past us here because we're right near, the 8th hole here is right near the road, okay? So if you get a little bit of that, I apologise for that. But let's look at the data. Okay, what are we looking at? 20 feet. That's your number. It's amazing how many shots we're looking at here. 20 feet is a good result. 50 yards, 20 feet. Okay, even if you're coming out of the rough just around the greens, 15, 20 feet, good result. Okay, bunker shot, 20 feet, you're going to do absolutely fine. So really important to understand, get it on that green. That's the priority. Don't try and be too cute. The main thing, just go through a little bit of technique with your bunker play, is just make sure in your mind you're committing to the shot and you go through the sand underneath the ball. I mentally think what I want to do is I want to hit approximately about a ball behind. I know I'm drawing a line in the sand. I know you can't do that in a game, but this is a video to help you. So I'm going to look to hit that point, and I just want to keep the club going through the sand. I feel what I do is I position that point in the centre of my stance. I dig my feet in to naturally lower the arc of the swing, and then I'm feeling from there just going to keep the club going through. About a 3/4 swing, get it out from there. That's what I'm looking to do. So priority is then from there, use the sand iron the way it's designed, hit the sand, keep it going through. Anything that comes out to 20 feet, we've ended up probably around about 12 to 15 feet there. We're really happy with that result. So there you go, we've covered the 12 shots of golf, my 12 shots of golf, which will cover 85% of the shots you're going to get in a round of golf. So let's quickly recap, and we'll put these all up on the screen for you to have a look at. But your tee shots, we're looking for about 220, 225. If you're looking to put that second shot up the fairway, say on a par 5, around about 175. If you do happen to be in the rough, 125 is good enough. We're now 150 yards away from the green. 55, 60 feet is good. We're looking around about 38, 40 feet from 100 yards, and we're down to that 20 feet if you're looking at 50 yards. If you're down to 20 yards, we're now looking around about 8 feet. and double that if you're coming out of the rough from the same distance. And although we've done this shot last on the video for you to look at, 20 feet is your number from a greenside bunker shot. So that sort of covers all the shots there, getting generally to the green. When you're on that green, your average 2-putt is a 20-foot putt, and you're looking around about 5 feet that you're going to, half the time you're going to hole it, half the time you may miss that putt, that 50-50 putt. And then the last 2 shots we looked at were the tee shots on the par 3s. So you've got a 140-yard par 3, get it within 55-60 feet, similar to what you're doing from 150 yards in the middle of the fairway, and then within 10 yards of the green if you're around that 180 yards. So the whole idea, if you look at those numbers, it might surprise you, is to lower the pressure. What I've seen my golfers, as soon as that pressure goes, their golf improves dramatically. I've seen guys get down to this single figure golf who've been 16 handicap golfers for years, and within 6 months of taking this data on board, they've made a massive difference to their game. Please use it, because it will make a massive difference. I wish I'd had these ideas when I was younger, because I got frustrated when I didn't hit the perfect shot. But in golf, you don't hit perfect shots. That's the key thing. You've just got to keep the ball momentum going towards your hole. Give yourself a chance. Reduce those big scores. From this data, you will definitely start doing that. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please subscribe, share it with your friends. And every Tuesday, Friday, I send videos out. So press that little bell to get notifications. And I look forward to seeing you soon.